Be confident, be bold, be authentic, but don't forget to take action. This is Ordinary to Badass, where our stories empower women to step into the spotlight of their own lives and pursue what they're truly passionate about. It's time to step into the arena and become more than just extraordinary. It's time to become a badass with your host, Marie Sonneman.
Welcome to Ordinary to Badass, episode number 292. In this episode, you're going to hear 3 reasons why Susie Hayes is so badass. Now, Susie, we've heard from her last episode, and she is a coach, and she does counseling and hypnosis, and really helps people get out of trauma and self-sabotage and frees them from stuck. She's also an author, and she wrote a book called Freed from Stuck. So go back, listen to that episode, and today we're going to talk about the 3 reasons why Susie Hayes is so badass. Now, I say we just jump right into it and tackle it today, right? So 3 reasons why Susie is so badass is because of 1, where she looks for answers. I apologize if you're hearing noise in the background. My dog Kono is in the room, so he's kind of moving around a bit. 2 is for her view of self-sabotage, and 3 is where she gets her second opinion. So let's start off with number 1, where Susie looks for answers. Now, Susie, she said she looks inside herself for the answers. She says that so often we don't realize that we have all of the answers inside of us. Man, I don't know about you, but I can relate, as far as looking outside myself for the answers. And this last year or 2 have really been focusing on going in, so I can relate to the looking outside yourself for answers. But the truth is, nobody ever really knows, right? We always think everybody knows the answer but us, but in reality, you know the answers. You know what is going to work best for you or what is going to work worst for you. And just because somebody else says that's how something should be done, doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean that it's a fit or a match for you. So look inside yourself for the answers. You have a bunch of resources that are already in you. And Susie said, listen, we need to look inside ourselves for our resources, for the life that we want, because only you know the life that you want. Everybody else doesn't know. What works for your parents might not work for you. What works for your spouse may not work for you. We all have individual, unique experiences that have got us to where we are today in our life. And somebody else giving you their opinion is merely that. It's their opinion based on their life experiences. It's not based on your life, not what you know. It's how they would feel if that was to happen to them. So sometimes we need to take what others say with a grain of salt. Because again, it's from their perspective. It's not from yours. It's not from living your life. Only you can say what the real answer is. So sometimes you can ask people for their opinions, but sit with yourself, reflect yourself if it's really what you want, if that's really what would work for you. And you get that gut feeling, oh man, says no. Then listen to that gut feeling, because it's probably telling you that for a reason. Or, I don't know if you've ever done this, I surely have, is where I get a gut feeling about something, but yet I still go ask people because I want them to tell me a certain answer, even if it's against what my gut feeling is saying, right? Just because what your gut says sometimes can be hard. It's like, ooh, I don't know, let me get a second opinion on that. So don't be afraid to ask yourself, to really ask yourself. Instead of going around asking everybody else, ask yourself. So what are you asking other people about when it comes to your life right now? What are you asking other people about that you should be asking yourself about? sit with that for a moment. You just sit down for 5 or 10 minutes and just reflect on it. Reflect on what your answer is or what you want to do and why you're scared of it. Because sometimes we know what we want to do, but it's just stinking scary. Okay, number 2, the second reason why Susie Hayes is so badass is because of her view of self-sabotage. Now, every once in a while I hear an echo, so I'm apologizing if you hear that too. So anyway, Susie's view on self-sabotage. She said that when we're feeling self-sabotage or we're sabotaging ourselves and making things worse than they need to be, usually that's an indication that fear is present or anxiety. So when you recognize that you're starting to do stuff so that you'll lose or so that you'll fail, you might recognize those signs, right? Like, I'm not helping myself out here. But a lot of times, that's just because you're feeling anxiety and you're feeling fear. And I don't know, I don't think a lot of us are taught growing up how to handle fear, how to handle anxiety. What do we do? When we come across that, what do we do? And if your parents ran when they felt fear, anxiety, chances are you will, right? Or if they just didn't talk to you about it and they just said, oh, toughen up, or get over it, let's go, let's move on, even though you felt fear and anxiety, then you likely didn't learn the lesson. You didn't learn how to cope with fear and anxiety. And sometimes that's just sitting with yourself. That's sitting with yourself and feeling how you feel and recognize that you feel scared. That's it. You feel scared, and that's okay. And some things that I have not done a ton of, but I'm very interested in, is tapping. Like tapping to get rid of fear and anxiety, right? And it's like, I feel fear, and that's okay. And you tap on your head, and then your forehead, and then under your eyes, under your nose, under your chin. You can do your chest and under your armpits, and you just tap. That's it. Tap on those places and acknowledge how you were feeling. Now, by no means am I any sort of expert on tapping, so go to YouTube or go look up somebody who is an expert in that if you want to learn more about it. But it is a way to acknowledge your fear and anxiety and help ease it. So, are you sabotaging yourself in any part of your life? Or maybe if one part of your life is going badly, maybe that's a sign that there's some self-sabotage there. It might not be, but it could. So look into it and look how you're dealing with fear and anxiety. You're trying to brush it aside. That's what I've done for most of my life, is just try to set it aside. It's not there. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. It's not there, right? But then it just like makes it grow bigger and stronger. So ignoring it does not help. Okay. Number 3. Third reason why Susie Hayes is so badass is because of where she goes for a second opinion. Now, Susie seeks expert counsel, and she doesn't just talk to anybody. When she has an issue, she doesn't just ask anybody who has an opinion. Often, there's an issue coming up, and we talk to anybody and everybody, right? And try to find out, or anybody and everybody will tell you what they think. So I think I brought this up in the episode too, but like finances, everybody has an opinion about money, right? And they can tell you what to do, like how to get out of debt, but yet they've never done it themselves. So we don't want to just listen to everybody. So I like how Susie says that she has an expert counsel, which are people with proven track record or proven skills that could help her. And then here was one thing that I really liked what she said. Now that expert counsel can just be one step ahead of you. One step, that's it. So often we think that experts have to be so far ahead, they have to have conquered it all, but that's not really how it goes, right? Sometimes that expert that's so far ahead isn't relatable. But the one that's just a step or two ahead of you, okay, they're doing it, then I can do it. And it feels encouraging. So that's also something to remember for yourself. If you have learned something and you're on a journey, whether it's like business or you're doing something for fun, and other people start asking you questions, like you can still be an authority, right? If you're 1 step, 2 step, 5 steps ahead of other people, then you can most certainly still be an authority. You can still help other people who are struggling with the same thing that you were struggling with a month ago, right? If you move forward, if you're getting out of it, again, sometimes it's helpful to see somebody who's just a few steps ahead of you, so it doesn't feel so intimidating. So, what are you struggling with? What problem are you struggling with? And is there somebody around you who has struggled with and overcome the same thing? Can you ask them for help? Now, we only want to ask for help people that are supportive or we believe will be supportive. If somebody's a negative Nelly, that's not the person to ask because they're just going to shoot you down, or they're just going to talk about all the bad things or all the hard things to get to where you want to be. So we're not talking to negative Nellies here, but if there's somebody around you, sometimes people you work with, right, have the same thing. So like somebody you work with paid off debt. Okay, cool. Ask him, ask her. How'd you do it? Or maybe they paid off $20,000. Still epic, right? Ask them. But there might be the very thing you're struggling with. There might be somebody in your sphere, in your circle, that has struggled with the same thing, has overcome the same thing. Again, even if they're just a couple steps ahead of you, they can help you possibly get to where they are, or they can tell you what they did. Don't be afraid to ask for help. So often we think we got to be strong, we think we got to be tough, or like asking for help shows weakness. Nope, not at all. It's actually strong to ask for help. So go out, ask for help when you need it. Look for the expert counsel, for people who have proven skills, who have gone through what you've gone through. People who, even if they're just 1, 2, 3 steps ahead of you, cool, ask them. Don't be afraid to ask for help. That's the big thing. Don't be afraid to ask for help. And so often women like try to take it all on, take the world all on their shoulders, try to do everything for everyone, and don't ask for help. That doesn't do anybody any favors. It's like you're robbing somebody else. If you say, nope, don't need help, you're robbing somebody else of the opportunity to teach or to show their gratitude, right? Maybe you've done stuff for them and never let them do stuff for you. So sometimes it's time to step back, to ask for help when you need that help. Okay, quick recap. 3 reasons why Susie Hayes is so badass. 1, where she looks for answers. 2, her view of self-sabotage. And 3, where she goes for a second opinion. So if you like this episode, take a screenshot, throw it on the gram, tag me at Ordinary to Badass. Let me know what your takeaways were or what you're implementing. Okay, with that, we'll end our show. To all the badass women out there staying in the arena, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, own it and get after it.
Now that you've listened to this episode of Ordinary to Badass, we want to hear from you. Go to our website, ordinarytobadass.com/podcast, and submit your own experience on how you took your life from ordinary to badass and get the chance to be on a future spotlight episode of the show. That's ordinarytobadass.com/podcast. While you're waiting for the next episode of the show, wipe off the sweat, dust off the dirt, and get back in the arena.